Okay, I welcome all of you to Nissarana, not to Kalalgoda. Many Kalalgoda yogis are here anyway. So I welcome you to Nissarana to have some cold environment currently we are experiencing. And today is the first day of this English medium retreat. So Chandrika is ready with written reports. So we'll start with the written reports.
අවසරයි ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ. This is the first day of the 345th retreat, and we got 5 written reports and 3 Sinhala ones in Zoom.
Okay.
First one. Dear Bante, I'm a yogi practicing the mindfulness with the guidance from Nissarana for the past 4 years. Sitting meditation. Started sitting meditation with the intention of I'm here and now. First focused on the body sensations and then to the breath in and out. Felt the coldness of the inner breath and hotness of the outer breath. After some time, I felt like shallowness of the breath. Able to sit for around 40 minutes and felt the pain on my left knee. By looking at the changes in the pain, able to stay for another 10 minutes and afterwards change the sitting posture mindfully. Walking meditation. Started the walking meditation on sand path. Felt the roughness and smoothness of the sand of the feet. Sand to the feet, Felt the moving of the left foot in lifting, moving and keeping before the right foot movement. Able to walk for around 40 minutes and felt the pain on the shoulders. Changed the hand held position from back to front and continued for about 15 minutes. Appreciate Venerable Bante's advice, if any, to continue my mindful practice. Thero and Saranai.
Yeah, sitting is all right. I just like to make little comments on the walking side. So while walking at the beginning, if you are trying to comprehend the whole body, that would be a little difficult. And I'm just talking to the beginners basically. So what we need is to establish mindfulness first. So I'm just telling, starting from the beginning. So try to just establish mindfulness at first. Don't consider it very serious, very difficult. Rather, say your foot is touching the ground, keep your attention there. When your right foot is touching the ground, keep your attention there. So likewise, just establish mindfulness. So as you are improving, probably you can now recognize, okay, now fairly mind has tamed and less distractions, and I can keep my mind consistently for 10 steps, or I can complete the whole round mindfully. So this is how we gain confidence. Okay, now mind has less distractions and the awareness is with me, and I can complete the full round. So next you can recognize what are the other sensations available. So now we are actually adding clear comprehension into the picture, what we call as the sampajanya. Previously we simply started with the mindfulness, trying to keep our attention as much as possible with our body. Now it is fairly successful, and now once mind is established, or the mindfulness is established, so when your foot is touching the ground, so what else I can recognize? Is it only the hardness available? Is it only the softness available? So now you are sort of inquiring, investigating, searching, examining what else are available. So basically hardness, softness, roughness, smoothness, heaviness, lightness, maybe the movements, vibrations, heat, cold, all these are available actually. But at the beginning, if we try to pay attention to everything, it could be a little difficult. So at this stage, you may be capable. Because mindfulness is there. Now I am inquiring what else are there. So recognizing each and every subtle aspects. Now you are recognizing each and everything, and you are continuing. Probably your speed might little reduce naturally. It is not purposely you are doing it. It may be little reduced. But you are doing a close examination to each and every phenomena. Now actually we are doing not simple walking meditation, but now we have shifted towards elements meditation. So previously it's a matter of establishing mindfulness, but it's now we are into elements meditation, dhatu manasikara, recognizing various subtle aspects of elements. And then your walking will be fairly, going more deeper, because now subtle changes of the elements also may be visible to you. So therefore, just do that kind of a change to your practice. Then I feel systematically you can get into this elements meditation, no dhatu manasikara. If any of you want to say participate in the discussion, feel free to do it. I'm just continuing with the reports. So if once your report being discussed, if you want to interrupt, if you want to participate, feel free to do that.
Walking meditation. I enjoyed the outdoor walking before the rain came down. Primary object, feet and foot movement. Experience. The coarse and sand ground, the different grade structure, texture, coarseness of the soil, sand and stones provided strong sensation to the bottom of my feet. It made me focus better while paying attention to the lifting, moving forward, lowering down and touching. I was also trying to locate the ant paths and not to step on them. Challenge. There are some rubbish, example plastic bottles, bags, lugs next to the footpath. My mind was distracted by them and always thought if I could remove them and make the environment better. It's a beautiful yard. Maybe I'm a bit OCD and need let them be. Thank you for taking care of us volunteers.
So probably we can provide you a broom. So first of all, you can clean the garden, clean the path. So typically that is what we do, because you know that it is kind of a human nature to see something very cleaned. Now say if we put a lot of garbage here, then we are not having a pleasing environment to meditate. But the environment, when we are maintaining in a more tidy, neat way, so it is more appealing. So therefore, try to maintain a clean environment, even in the outside if possible. So once you are going to the walking path, if it is not well prepared, cleaned, please do it. It will be a merit for you.
Sitting meditation, second session, the one after the breakfast. I was very sleepy, couldn't focus on the primary object breath for long. I went back to room and had a nap. Third session, the one before lunch. It was much more successful. Primary object, breath in and out. Experience, I was breathing in and out by using both nostrils. In-breath was shorter than the outer breath. The breath became shorter and shallower, lighter with time. My heartbeats were also getting lower and softer, hardly towards the end. I couldn't notice the breath and heartbeat. I noticed sounds, noises and smells. Could quickly pull myself back after noticing them. I tried to put on a happy face. Challenge, thoughts crept in, didn't manage to stop them at the bay. Immediately my mind followed them a bit before I pulled my mind back to breath. Will continue practice.
Yeah. One thing. So don't waste time in sleeping. So because these days are little gloomy and cold, so it's easily that we might even fall asleep even while sitting. So if you purposely go and sleep, then it's waste of time. So basically make use of this time, this opportunity, because you all may be occupied and this is a rare time that you all are getting. So therefore try to make use of it. So if you feel really sleepy, get up and just walk. Because no point of just nodding or completely fall asleep. Rather it's better to walk. Because these days, as I said, difficult sometimes. They say, for example, just after the meal, if you sit, easily you may fall asleep. Sometimes we call in Pali as Batta Sammada. Even today we discuss about this. Batta Sammada means now if you take a heavy lunch or heavy meal, so it's pretty heavy and the body consumes fair amount of energy to consume that, to digest that. So you easily fall asleep. So therefore, take care about your meals also. You don't have very heavy meal, even though you don't have the chance to eat at night. Have to be a bit patient with it. And probably you can have maybe tea or coffee, something, just to energize yourself. And use the time as much as possible. Maybe walking would be much better. And everything else is okay. So you have the rest part, you have done well. So that's the only thing I like to add.
There's a Dhamma question and meditation. I'll read the meditation experience first, Swaminathan. Meditation question, 24th May, sitting meditation, Buddhanusatiya and Metta together, is that okay?
Now, I'll just come to some basics then. So basically we can practice Buddhanusati, Metta, Asubha and Marananusati. Buddhanusati, the reflections of the Buddha's qualities. Asubha, reflecting the loathsomeness of the body. Then Marananusati, reflecting about the death. And the Metta, loving kindness. Now these are basically the guardian meditations, what we call Chaturarakka Bhavana. Very useful. So if in case suppose that your mind is really agitated and you are not in a good mood, not at all happy, and have some grudges or anger, so then immediately sitting and trying to practice Anapanasati won't help. Such situation, maybe practicing Buddhanusati or practicing Metta will be very helpful, so that it will please you. Again, it will help you to have some joy in you, have some pleasant atmosphere internally, and make you fairly joyful. Then you can go ahead with Anapanasati. On the other hand, say if your mind is tormented with lust, then even such occasion, if you are trying to practice Anapanasati, that also won't help. Probably Asubha Bhavana, if you know how to practice it, may be useful. Recognizing the loathsomeness of the body. It is not really beautiful, this is loathsome, these are not really attractive. So likewise, you purposely recognize the loathsomeness of the body parts. Then the mind calms down, reduce the lust and come to the middle. Now maybe fairly neutral. Now you can practice Anapanasati. On the other hand, say you don't have much energy to practice. You feel lethargic, you feel, not enthusiastic. Then probably reflecting about the death may be useful. Because we don't have much time and any time we might die. And recently, Iran president also passed away. Who knows? So I might also pass away. So that is how we have to reflect about these things. So that urgency comes. So I should not waste time. Who knows when I am going to die? So basically such urgency is required for us to get motivated. Therefore Marananusati helps to bring that. And once you are energetic, then you can practice Anapanasati, for example. On the other hand, Buddhanusati and Metta, so they both particularly useful to have a very pleasant environment in our mind. Marananusati useful to have that urgency and to eliminate any kind of a conceit or proud in our mind. So this is how we are sort of managing, preparing the mind. But how long are we using to do that? Say if you have 1 hour, so how long are we using these 4 meditations? Maybe maximum 15 minutes. Don't go beyond that. So 45 minutes you have to spend time on the other main meditation subject. Say for example, if you are practicing rising and falling of the abdomen, assume that that is your main object, that is your primary object. So more and more you need to associate that. So previously we are using Buddhanusati and all that as a preparatory technique, so that it will prepare the mind, so that you can practice rising and falling properly, or in breath and out breath, this mindfulness of breathing properly. So therefore don't spend whole hour practicing Buddhanusati or practicing Metta, because then the purpose is in a way lost. Actually, certainly we can practice Metta totally, and then from at one stage you can turn into Vipassana. That is also possible, not an impossible thing. But the method we practice here is particularly the mindfulness. Basically the Satipatthana. All 4 foundations of Satipatthana. So therefore I encourage you to do that. So don't spend long time in practicing Metta, Buddhanusati, Asubha or Marananusati. You can use it depending on the situation. Suppose that when you are sitting, your mind is really uplifted and you feel happy, joyful, and you want to practice that attitude is there, immediately practice Anapanasati. Immediately practice rising and falling. No need to spend some more time on the other guardian meditation because mind is already happy. Because now in this environment, you all are geared to meditate. All are motivated to meditate. So your minds are fairly in that mood. So therefore immediately you can start the primary object.
Felt like falling backwards and had to straighten up most often. I think this is in sitting meditation. Will this correct with time?
Yeah, possible. I mean, if you are a young person, definitely it will be possible. But if you are pretty old, might be difficult. Then probably you can use a chair because if you are into 70s or something, now trying to adjust the posture would be difficult. Probably you can use a chair. Lean to the chair and have a straight posture. Then it won't fall back. So you are getting certain support from the chair. No harm. But on the other hand, if you are a young person, say 30s, 40s, definitely you can change the posture. Change in the sense you can properly season the posture. At the beginning there may be certain problems, but with time it will be managed. Say, for example, currently you can maintain your posture only for 15 minutes. Then later, with time, you can maintain it for 20 minutes. Later 25, later 30. Like that you can extend it to about, say 50, 60 minutes. You can easily manage. It will happen with time. So don't think that it will happen overnight. It will take some time. Give some time. So therefore, these things may be possible. And again, once you sit, don't immediately practice, rather adjust yourself. Recognizing body posture is very important. And hope you all know how to sit on that provided bench, meditation benches. So you can use it properly, and if you have any back pains and difficulties in sitting, so those will be very useful. Are you using that? No. I mean, actually, you need to sit like this, but you are taking the support using the bench. It lifted up your buttocks, and it's very convenient. You can use a bench if you like. It's a very, very convenient. Some of you can try it and see. That's also very useful. So we have the facilities, make use of them. And adjusting the posture and having a very good, pleasant, comfortable posture is very, very important. You can spend 1-2 minutes adjusting yourself, properly finding the proper posture. Then you can start practicing.
Do we have to keep both hands either in the front or back for walking meditation? Can we have them loosely on either side?
Possible, no problem. Only thing is that if you sway them, if you move them, then it might be a cause for distraction. And even if you are not getting distracted, even when you are moving hands, no harm. Because we need to maintain a very natural posture while walking. So maintaining your hands in the front or back may be little difficult, sometimes may be artificial. If you feel like that, and you can walk more naturally, no harm. Only thing is, don't look at your steps through your eyes, don't look at your hands through your eyes. So the attention has to be on your steps. Those sensations available on your steps. So that should be the most prominent thing. And what you see, what you hear, you need to discard. And as much as possible, you need to pay attention to your steps. Actually, these instructions may change with time. So I am just talking to a beginner. But for the beginner, these are the instructions. But with time, we need to change the instructions.
How can we explain regarding the Vijnana traveling to next life? Example, if we become Sotapanna in this birth, how does this state gets to the next birth?
We'll see. Once we become a Sotapanna, we'll see. So immediately, no point of discussing immediately these questions. So I'll try to discuss maybe a few things during the Dhamma sermon. How to say... what happened to Vijnana, what happened to consciousness as we practice, we'll discuss.
Avasarai Venerable Bhante, seated meditation. Started by becoming aware of the posture. Next, I did a body scan. Noticed areas of tightness and discomfort in the body. Attention came to the breath. Observed in in and out breaths. In breath was short, out breath was long. Next, breath wandered off after a little while, mind wandered after a little while, kept bringing the focus back to the breath. Breath became more and more subtle. Body also became more and more lighter. I maintained this for about 40 minutes. Walking meditation started with left, right, and gradually dropped the labeling. Focus was on the soles of the feet. Felt relaxed when the foot was released from the mat. My attention was more on the releasing of the foot. Other practices notice that when my mind wanders, that there's no real order in my thoughts. It's a bit here and bit out there.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, it's in a way that's a good understanding. I mean, there is no any particular reason behind the thoughts. So sometimes just wandering, automatic thoughts. Sometimes we call them as automatic thoughts. There's no particular reason. There is no much, relationship as such. But they're simply going out here and there. So these are the things, wandering thoughts. So by the way, we don't need to worry much about it, because at the beginning what we are doing is not immediately confront the thoughts, rather as much as possible being with ourselves. That's why Kaya Anupassana, establishing mindfulness on the body, which much easier than immediately trying to handle the thoughts. So one day you may understand, okay, now mind has completely calmed down, completely relaxed, no thoughts at all. I am fully with the body. It's a very interesting experience. So practicing maybe walking meditation, mindfulness of walking, so rising and falling, or breathing, will be really helpful to calm down thoughts, thinking. So use these simple techniques. So these are very, very simple in a way. Sometimes people even doubtful, how these simple techniques can produce this much of benefits, this much of, say, real maybe health benefits. Difficult sometimes to convince people. But as we practice, you yourself can understand it. You yourself start appreciating these simple techniques. Actually, the mindfulness practices are very, very simple. The Kamatahana, this instruction is very, very simple, but very difficult. Simple but difficult. It's utterly simple, therefore it is difficult. Because our minds don't like simplicity. We prefer really complex, real worries, regrets, and very complex things. And it can get involved with that. If it just want to maintain its attention on rising and falling, in breath and out breath, it's very, very simple, very neutral. Mind can't appreciate it. But they are the ones really calming down the mind, relaxing the mind, taking it to the present moment, releasing if there is any kind of a tension, stress. So therefore, first we need to have some faith on the technique. And once we have faith, then we are practicing it. Again and again we are practicing it. Still distractions, but again and again practicing. So slowly, distractions become less and less. Your involvement with the primary object become more and more, and you'll easily get successful.
I have been in several Vipassana meditation retreats in the month of May. Recently, a person who didn't see me since February saw me and commented that my face looks dark. I didn't care much. 2 days ago, someone invited a photographer to a meditation session. From the video taken, I did notice that the center of my face does look dim or dark compared to the sides. My expression looked very focused or even worried. in another word, not a happy or light-hearted face. Have you encountered such thing or heard such an incident? What's the possible cause? What should I do?
Maybe. Actually, there is this also mentioned in the Dhamma as a benefit of metta meditation. Probably you have heard about it. You know, there are 11 benefits of some deeper metta meditation. Mukhavanno vipasidati. Basically means your complexion, your face become more and more beautiful in a way. So probably you can try metta also. More than time to time having metta also not a bad thing. By the way, now as you come into an area where you are not grasping things, say you are practicing mindfulness and you are practicing all, even the vipassana parts, and you come to an area where now mind doesn't want to grasp things. Grasping is the one producing kind of a stress. So when there is no grasping, no stress. So when you are not experiencing any kind of a stress, it's just a matter of maintaining the body. So therefore, very easy. So you might not experience any kind of anger. I mean, it can come time to time, but you are not promoting it. You are not being carried away long time for that. But you know immediately I need to drop it, let it go. So likewise, as much as possible, you are maintaining a very relaxed attitude, very relaxed mentality. Not a tensed, grasped, stressed mentality, but a very relaxed, calm, happy mentality. And that is what Buddha promise in this Satipatthana. Dukkha domanassanam atthangamaya. That means whatever suffering you are going through, whatever kind of despair, distress that you are going through has to be reduced as a result of the mindfulness practice. And dukkha domanassanam atthangamaya. If there is worries, if there are any, lamentations, all that has to be reduced as a result of the practice. So we ourselves can see, am I experiencing at least some part of these benefits? I am practicing Satipatthana for several years now. Am I reduced with these tensions in my mind, stresses in my mind, worries in my mind? Crying, lamentation in myself, or I am still the same character. If I am still the same character after practicing several years, then something wrong. So I myself have to check it. I myself have to verify, are there any changes happen to myself? Am I a happy person now, a joyful person now? So therefore, wandering mind is always an unhappy mind. You might have heard about that statement, right? A wandering mind is an unhappy mind. But if you are fairly focused, you are paying attention to maybe breathing, rising and falling at the beginning, so that is less wandering. Later with time, as I said, moving towards vipassana, say you are able to maintain relaxed mind, unattached mind, no clinging at all, then mind become more relaxed. Your mood become very pleasant, definitely. So probably you can try further vipassana or metta. Probably then you may be happy, maybe beautiful as well. So we'll use it for marketing. Right. No.
There's another part. I remember Bhante asked us to put on a light smile when scanning the body. To me, having a smile needs effort. It is not natural anymore. How to have a natural smile or happy face?
Yes, I agree that at the beginning it looks like little artificial, maybe little difficult, and appear like little you are purposely, forcefully maintaining a smile. But as you are progressing, it becomes more natural. That's what I mentioned. At the beginning, purposely you are maintaining a smile. But later it becomes a kind of an endowment, kind of a natural characteristic of yourself. So anyway, just have a smile. It's not taking you any fee or something. And people nowadays actually very not really happy. There's something recently also we have mentioned. So people lose their happiness. I mean, we don't need much to be happy. I mean, if you think that, okay, I have to have a promotion to be happy, I have to be a billionaire to be happy, I have to have everything this and that to be happy, then we can never be happy. So if we can be happy even with someone else's success, say mudita, so these are very interesting techniques actually what Buddha has mentioned. Very little, very beautiful, very human-like qualities that we can be happy even with someone else's success. Say that someone else, now say we all are meditating here. Suppose that, say at 45 minutes that you have finished your session and you open your eyes. And you see someone else is really meditating. Can you be happy by seeing that? That's a very pleasant to see that someone else is really, relaxed, calm and meditating, and I'm just looking at and appreciating that effort, appreciating that, that spiritual quest that the other person is going through. Kind of appreciative joy can be arised. So likewise, find out some little reasons to be happy. Probably you have heard that Bhante Dhammajiva used to mention about the Pollyanna book. So reason to be glad. So not every time that we may find reasons to be happy, but at least something is there for us to be glad. Not that everything's going really well, going really favorable, but finding a reason to be happy really sort of refresh ourselves. It motivates us, and not always thinking and worrying, regretting help us, but the opposite will help us. That's all. Are there any English questions? Any of you want to participate? Anyone you to talk anything? Any question? Okay, then we'll go to the single ones.
තෙරුවන් සරණයි ස්වාමින් වහන්සේ. පරයන්ක භාවනාවේ යෙදුණා කාලය හෝ ගණනය කිරීම කලේ නැත. උඩුතොලෙහි වදින හුස්ම රැල්ල මූල කර්මස්ථානයේ ලෙස යොදාගත්තේය. සිත පිහිටුවාගෙන inhale in ලෙසත් exhale out ලෙසත් සිතමින් මෙනෙහි කළා. ටික වේලාවක් මෙනෙහි කළ විට බෙල්ල දෙපසින් ඔළුව දෙසට විහිදෙන යම් වේදනාවක් හටගත්තේය. තප්පර කිහිපයකින් ඒ වේදනාව පවතිද්දීම හිස් මුදුනේ ඔළුව තුලට තීව්‍ර වේදනාවක් හටගත්තේය. මෙලෙස බෙල්ල දෙපසින් ඒ වේදනාව හටගන්නා වූ මොහොතේ පටන් වේදනාව වෙත සිත යොමු කරමින් ඇති වෙනවා නැති වෙනවා යනුවෙන් මෙනෙහි කළේය. වේදනාව ක්‍රමයෙන් ක්ෂය වී ගියමුත් නැවත මූල කර්මස්ථානයේ වෙත සිත පිහිට වෙද්දී in out ලෙස නොව හුස්ම රැල්ල ඇති වෙනවා නැති වෙනවා යනුවෙන් මෙනෙහි කරන්නට පෙළඹුණි. මෙලෙස ටික වේලාවක් හුස්ම රැල්ල ඇති වෙනවා නැති වෙනවා ලෙස මෙනෙහි කරන විට ශරීරයේ දක්ෂිනාවර්තව සෙමින් කරකැවෙන්නට විය. මා නැති වේවිදෝ යන ලාමක හැඟීමක් ඇති විය. එවිට ජීවිතයේ අත්හැරීමෙන්ම කුමක් වුවත් හුස්ම රැල්ල දෙස බැලීම බලමින් නිසා හුස්ම රැල්ල දෙස එලෙස ඇති වෙනවා නැති වෙනවා යයි සිහිය පවත්වාගෙන යන විට කරකැවීම නතර විය. සතිය වර්ධනය කර ගැනීම යහපත් ලෙස සිදු වෙනවාදැයි හෝ මා නොමග යනවාදැයි අනුකම්පාවෙන් පැහැදිලි කර දෙන සේක්වා. නායක ස්වාමින් වහන්සේ ප්‍රධාන නිස්සාරණ වනයේ වැඩවසන්නා වූ සියලුම මහා සංඝරුවනට මාගේ ගෞරවනීය නමස්කාරය වේවා.
ඔව් පොඩකින්. මෙතෙන්දී හැබැයි අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ නැහැ හුස්ම රැල්ල ඇතිවීම නැතිවීම උවමනාවෙන් අනිත්‍යයි කියලා ඇති වෙනවා නැති වෙනවා කියලා මෙනෙහි කිරීමක්. ඒක නෙමෙයි අත්‍තරම බලාපොරොත්තුව. අපි මෙතෙන්දී බලෙන් අනිත්‍ය කිරීමක් කිසිසේත්ම කරන්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. මේවා අනිත්‍යත්වය පෙන්නාවි. ඒකට චුට්ටක් හැබැයි ඉවසන්න ඕනේ. ඒක පාටම ඉතින් මෙතන අහුවෙන්නේ නැහැ. අපිට තියෙන්නේ පොඩ්ඩක් ඒ හුස්ම රැල්ලත් එක්ක ඉන්න. ඒ ආස්වාසේ ප්‍රස්වාසයේ නැවත නැවත දකින්න. එතකොට හොඳට සතිමත් බව එතන පිහිටනවා. ඊට පස්සේ හැබැයි එතනින් නතර නොවි මේක දිහා ටිකක් අර විනිවිද යන බැල්මක් හොයන්න ඕනේ. හෙලන්න ඕනේ. මේක ටිකක් සොයා විමසා බලන්න ඕනේ. තීක්ෂණ බැල්මක් බලන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට මේකේ අර ලක්ෂණ ටික පේන්න ගන්නවා. හිතන්න හුස්ම රැල්ලේ තියෙන සියුම් ලක්ෂණ හුස්ම රැල්ල තුල ධාතු ලක්ෂණ ටික වතුර ගන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් ආනාපාන සතිය විපස්සනාවට හැරෙද්දී එක පැත්තක් තමයි ඒක තියෙන ධාතු ලක්ෂණ ටික මතුවීම. මේකේ තියෙන උණුසුමක්, මේකේ තියෙන සිසිලසක්, මේකේ නැත්තම් ස්පර්ශ වෙන තැනක්, ස්පර්ශය නැත්තම් තැනක් කියනකොට ස්පර්ශයක්, නැත්තම් මේකේ චලනයක්, ඒ වගේ අර ධාතු ලක්ෂණ ටිකක් මේ ආස්වාස ප්‍රසආස ක්‍රියාවලිය තුලින් අඳුන ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් ඒතකොට ඒක තමයි ඊළඟට අපි විපස්සනාවට නැගෙන්නේ. එතනයි අනිත්‍යත්වය දකින්නේ. එතන මේ තද වීමේ පටන් ගැනීමක් අවසන් වීමක්. ඒ ස්පර්ශයේ පටන් ගැනීමක් අවසන් වීමක්. නැත්නම් ඒ චලනයේ පටන් ගැනීමක් අවසන් වීමක්. අන්න ඒ වගේ අර ඊටාම සියුම් ස්වභාවයක තමයි අපි මේ ඇතිවීමක් නැතිවීමක් දකින්නේ. නැතු අර හුස්ම රැල්ලක් කියලා ගත්තාම එතන තියෙන තාමත් සංකල්පමය රාමුවක් තියෙන. ඉතින් ඒකේ අපි ඇතිවීමක් දැකීමක් පනවල තේරුමක් නැහැ. කමක් නැහැ. හැබැයි ඉතින් ඒක වුවමනාවෙන් එතන කරනවා කියන එකට වඩා අපි එතෙන්දී හිත පුළුවන් තරම් සංසුන් කරලා හික්මවලා එකඟ කළා. එකඟ වෙච්ච හිතට මේ සියුම් දැනෙන ධාතුන්ගේ ඇතිවීම නැතිවීම හඳුනා ගන්න පලස්සනවා නම් ඒක වඩා ප්‍රබලයි. එතන තමයි වෙලා තියෙන එකම පාඩුව. ඉතින් ඒ හැර අනිත් ටික ඉතින් හොඳයි.
අතිගරු ස්වාමින් වහන්සේ පෙර වාර්තාවට උපදෙස් ලැබුණු පරිදි පරයන්කය සක්මන මදක් අඩුකොට එදිනෙදා සතිය පැවැත්වීම දිගටම සිදුවේ. වෙන් කිරීමක් කරන්නට ඉඩක් නොතබා වේගයෙන් සිදුවන වෙනස් වීම දකි. සිත අරමුණක් තදින් ගත් විට එය දැනගනි. දැනගන්නා විට අරමුණ ගත් බව නැත. ඊට පසු දැනගත් බව දැනගන්නා විට දැනගත් බවද නැත. සිත කියවන බව දැනුණු වහා කියවන බව නැති වී දැනගත් බවද නැති වී නිශ්ශබ්ද වෙයි. බලාපොරොත්තු ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරන්නට හඹා යන්නට නොසිතේ. තේරුමක් නැති බව දනි. කම්මැලි කියා යමක් ඇල්ලුවත් ඒකත් දුකකි. පරයන්කය හිඳීමට අවස්ථාව ලැබුණු විට පැය දෙකක් පමණ සිටි. සිත ඔහේ සිටි. බෙල්ල වැටේ. යලි සිහිය එයි. සිහින මෙන් කුඩා සිදුවීම් දකි. සිදුවීම් දකින ඇතැම් විට සිත සැලෙයි. සැලෙන බව දනි. දුරස්ත භාවනා වැඩමුළු වලට සම්බන්ධව උපදෙස් ලබා ගැනීමට අවස්ථාව ලබා දීම පිළිබඳ ස්වාමින් වහන්සේ ඇතුළු සංවිධායක සියලු දෙනාට බොහොම පිං.
ඔව් මේක එක වැරද්දක් තියෙනවා. ඔය පැය දෙකක් ඉන්නවා කියන එක. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි ඉඳගෙන පැය දෙකක් එක දිගට ඔහේ ඉන්න ගියාම සම්පූර්ණයෙන් මොක සමබරතාවය කැඩෙන්න පුළුවන්. බිඳෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ නිසා මෙතෙන්දී වැදගත් වෙන්නේ අර මේ මට්ටමේදී ඇත්තම වැදගත් වෙන්නේ දිගට ඉඳගෙන සිටීම නෙමෙයි. හිතේ විවෘත භාවය බොහොම සැහැල්ලුවෙන් පැවැත්වීම වැදගත් වෙන්නේ. ඒ නිසා අපි ඉඳගෙනම ඉඳලා මේක ඉස්සරහට යවන්න අමාරුයි. ඉඳගත්තාම හිතේ සමබරතාවය බොහොම සැහැල්ලු, ප්‍රීතිමත්, සැහැල්ලු ප්‍රණීත ගතියක් තියෙනවා නම් සම්බරයි. ඒ කියන්නේ හොඳයි. නරක නෑ. ගානට හිත ඇලිලා නෑ, කොහෙවත් පිහිටලා නෑ. හොඳට අනිශ්චිතව තියෙනවා. උපාදාන රහිතව තියෙනවා. මේක තියෙන තාක් හොඳයි. හැබැයි එහෙම ගුඟාක් වෙලා ඉන්න ගියාම දන්නේම නෑ. නොදැනුවත්ව මේක ටික ගැඹුරට ගිහිල්ලා මේක අර විවෘත භාවය වෙනකොට ආයි කන්සන්ට්‍රේෂන් හැදෙනවා. විවෘත භාවය කියන එක අපි කියන ඕපන් අවයානස්. මේ සම්පූර්ණ විවෘත හිතක්. ඒක වෙනකොට ආයෙ ගිහිල්ලා ફોකස් ඇටෙන්ෂන් පැත්තට යනවා. ගිහිල්ලා නිකන් හිර වෙනවා. ගිහිල්ලා තව තැනක බදා ගන්නවා. එතන තියෙන්නේ ආයෙ අසුරු කරන හිතක් ආයෙ තියෙන්නේ. ඒක ගැලපෙන්නේ නැහැ. දැන් අපි ආයෙ විපස්සනාවෙන් ආයෙ නිකන් වෙන පැත්තකට ගියා. ඉතින් එතකොට ආයෙ බෙල්ලත් කඩන් වැටිලා අපි දන්නේ නැහැ මොනවා වුණාද කියලා. ඉතින් පැයකට පස්සේ නැගිටිනවා. අසාර්ථකයි. ඒ නිසා එතෙන්දී අපි සැලකිලිමත් වෙන්න ඕනේ. අපේ හිත උපාදාන වලින් නිදහස් වෙච්ච මට්ටමේ පවතිනවා නම් එතෙන්දී තියෙන්න ඕනේ මේ දිගින් දිගට ඉඳගෙන ඉඳීමෙන් ඉදිරියට යාමක් නෙමෙයි. පුළුවන් අපිට මේ සරල සැහැල්ලු විවෘත භාවය පුළුවන් තරම් පවත්වන්න. ඉඳ ගන්න ගිහිල්ලා ඕක පැටලෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. ඒ නිසා එතෙන්දී අපි සැලකිලිමත් වෙන්නයි තියෙන්නේ. ඉදිරි ටික නම් හොඳයි. එච්චොල් නේ. එච්චරයි නේද? හොඳයි. ඉතින් එච්චරයි අපිට තියෙන්නේ ප්‍රශ්න. කියන්න. You have a question? Okay. No problem. Can you pass the mic to her? One moment. Yeah. I know her. One moment.
Hello.
Sorry.
Do you mind to answer in English?
Sure.
So I understand that people may describe in the local language because when you answer, maybe I can learn also from others' experience. Yeah. Sorry.
Sure. So I'll brief what I have explained. One important thing what I have explained is about once we meditate quite a while, and particularly vipassana, so you may reach an area where mind does not grasp anything at all. So then mind become more relaxed, nothing to hold, nothing to grasp, and no object at all, and just a matter of maintaining that. So now people are capable of doing that, and many yogis are there who can do that. And say as a practice now they try to sit long, not a bad thing, but have to be careful because what we want right now is completely open awareness. Now I am paying attention to this. So this is my object, and I am paying some strict attention to this. So what we call is as the focus attention. It's a attention, it's very focused, it's a a fair amount of concentration is there. So you are now practicing in a way first kind of a samatha, and then by looking at it, now you are observing it, investigating it, so that you are able to understand its characteristics. So much understanding is now developing. Say impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, non-self, these kind of understandings are developing. As a result of that, now you will let go of that. So now mind has nothing to hold. So then it has to become quite open, not focused, but open. Nothing is there. Not holding anything, not grasping anything. So this open mind, released mind, has to be maintained in a very relaxed way, very balanced, fairly balanced way. Otherwise, what happens is, if we are, very strict way, if we are trying to maintain that while sitting, it can go and again latch with something. It will go and again lean onto something. That is not correct. Say it could be maybe a feeling, little bit of heaviness, little bit of hardness. So some kind of a heaviness is there, kind of a burden is there to the mind. So once again it go and latch with something, associate with something. So mind has to be kept without any association at all. So this is very important part in Vipassana. So that's what one area I have explained. The other thing, I think, what else? So nothing to worry. So anyway, since today is the first day, just for beginners, I'll explain. So here we are practicing mindfulness as much as possible. First of all, we are trying to establish mindfulness. So we are using simple techniques to do that. Maybe rising and falling of your abdomen. You can use it as a primary object to establish mindfulness. Or you can use in-breath and out-breath to establish mindfulness. So these are the two simple techniques. Probably you can use the posture to establish mindfulness. That is also possible. While walking, we are simply allowing the body to naturally walk. And as much as possible, we are trying to keep our attention on the sensation of our foot. So it is not what we see or hear, rather what we experience through the foot. So that is where we are trying to maintain our attention. So there are also, probably you can use noting, labeling, to facilitate this process, only necessary for the beginners. So in case if your mind get distracted often, then probably you can maintain your attention using a noting technique. When your right foot is touching, you can note it as right. Left foot is touching, you can note it as left. Or you can simply note lifting, placing, or lifting, moving, placing. So like that you can make use of noting techniques to establish mindfulness. And once it is there, then you are encouraged to clearly see what's happening. Sort of doing an investigation. Not mere establishment of mindfulness. Now you are trying to investigate what is more there. So that is the next step. So these are some basic instructions. Actually, you might already have seen these things, videos, etc. Hope everything is clear to you. So don't ask at the end of the retreat, Bhante, what is my primary object? So we should all know what is the primary object, where to maintain my attention, what I should do. So that is something we should all be very clear today. So if you have any doubts about the technique, if you have any, criticisms, please feel free to raise it. Then because with doubts we can't continue, so you have to remove all the doubts. Then only you will be encouraged to practice wholeheartedly. Okay, all are happy. Then you can have a smile. Okay, then we'll wind up. Yes, please.
අවසරයි සනස මේ මං අවුරුදු 3ක් විතර මේ ප්‍රායෝගිකව සක්මන් භාවනාවයි පරයන්කේ කරනවා. දැන් මෙහෙට ආවට පස්සේ සනස දැන් මෙච්චර කාලයකට මේ විදිහට කරලා නැහැ. නමුත් දැන් අර පරයන්කේ ඉන්නකොට අර හිත සංසුන් වෙලා ඒ කියන්නේ සිටි හුස්ම පොද තුනී වේගන ගිහිල්ලා දැන් ඒක හරි ඉක්මනට වෙනවා. මට දැන් අද ටිකක් හිතෙනවා මේක නින්දට වැටෙනවද කියලා.
වැටෙන්න පුළුවන් හැබැයි ඇත්තටම.
ඔව්. ඉතින් එතෙන්දි කොහොමද ඒක මේ අඳුරගන්නේ මං නිින්ද නොවන බව කොහොමද සයනන්ස එතනදී මොකද දැන් මේක ඉක්මනට කරන නිසා එක දවසට
හරි.
මේ අර තියෙන මේ හිතේ තියෙන තැම්පත් ගතිය වැඩි දැන්.
හමන්න ඒක තමයි අත්‍තරම වෙන්නත් ඕනේ. හිත ඉක්මනට තැම්පත් වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඉස්සෙල්ලා නම් අපි පැය ගාණක් ගත කරනවා හිත තැම්පත් කරගන්න. දැන් විනාඩියෙන් දෙකෙන් තැම්පත් වෙනවා. තැම්පත් වුණාට පස්සේ මට පුළුවන් ද අවදියෙන් ඉන්න. ඉතින් ඒක එක පැත්තක්. මොකද මේ දැන් හිතනවනේ සමාධියක්. සමාධිය හැදෙද්දී ගොරෝසු අරමුණක හිත තබාගෙන හදාගන්න සමාධියට වඩා දියුණුයි. ඊටාම සියුම් අරමුණක හිත තබාගෙන හදාගන්න සමාධිමත් භාවය. සමහරට අරමුණ සම්පූර්ණයෙන් නොපෙනී යනවා, නොදැනී යනවා. හුස්ම ගන්නවද නැද්ද කියලා හොයාගන්න බෑ. එච්චරට දැන් නේද? එපිටපත් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොටත් පුළුවන් ද නින්දට වට ගන්න නැතිව වෙන තැනකට හිත දාන්නෙත් නැතුව මේ தත්ත්වය තුළම අවදියෙන් ඉන්න. ඉතින් තමයි අභ්‍යාසය තියෙන්නේ. ඉතින් අපේ හිත නිකන් අර එන්න තව සියුම් කිරීමක් තියෙන්නේ. ඉතින් දැන් එතන අපි එකපාරටම නැගිටින්න ගියොත් උතන සියුම් භාවයේ කවදාවත් ගන්නත් බෑ. ඉතින් එතකොට අර සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම නිින්ද ගිහිලා නම් නිින්ද යනවා බවත් හොඳටම පැහැදිලි නම් ගන්න එක හොඳයි. නැගිටලා සක්මනට යන එක හොඳයි. දැන් තමන්ට තේරෙනවා ලස්සනට දැන් හිත ගොඩ නැගීගෙන එනවා, ශාන්ත වේගෙන, සියුම් වේගෙන එනවා. අරමුණත් නිකන් නොපෙනෙන ගානයි. හැබැයි එතනත් බොහොම සියුම්ම අවදියෙන් ඉන්න පුළුවන්කම තමයි දක්ෂතාවය. ඉතින් ඒක හැදෙන්න දෙන්න. චුට්ටක් කල් යාවි. ඒ කියන්නේ උතන්දී හැබැයි මෙහෙම දෙයක් ඕනනම් කරද හැකි. දැන් ඒ මට්ටමට එද්දි දැනෙන දැනීම් මොන හරි දිනවනම් ඒක විමසන්න ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් එතනදී අපි ටක් ගාලා විපස්සනාට හැරීමක් කරන්නේ. ඔය හිත හැදෙන සමාධිමත් වෙන ගතිය වළක්වලා ඒකේ යම් අවස්ථාවකදී අපි හැරෙනවා ඌමනාවෙම විපස්සනාවට. නරකමත් නෑ ඉතින්. එහෙම කළත් බලන්න. ඒක එතකොට අපි විමසා බැලීමට මුල් තැන දෙනවා. දැන් හුස්ම රැල්ල සියුම් වේගෙන ගියා. ඒ අතරේ දැන් කයේ යම් දැනීම් මෙහෙම මතුවලා තියෙනවා නම් ඒ දැනීමකට හොඳට හිත යොදලා ඒ දැනීම හොඳට සුපරීක්ෂාකාරීව බලන්න පුළුවන්. ඒකේ යථා ස්වභාවය විමසන්න පුළුවන්. ඒතර අර මේකෙන් හැදිච්ච එකඟතාවය අපි පාවිච්චි කරනවා මේක විමසන්න. ඒ පැත්ත කරත් වරදක් නැහැ. එතකොට ඉතින් අපි විපස්සනා පැත්තෙන් ඉස්සරහට යනවා. මොකද මේ දියුණු කරන ඉන්ද්‍රිය ධර්ම වලට අපි තම එකතු කරනවා නුවණ කියන කොටසත්. වරදක් නැහැ. එහෙමත් කරන්න.
තවසනස ඒකේ කාලයත් වැඩි වෙලා තියෙන. ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් ගෙදරදී සාමාන්‍ය විනාඩි 25ක් 30ක් විතර වගේ අනේක දැන් මෙහෙදී දැන් ඒක විනාඩි 45ක් 50ක්
ඉන්න පුළුවන් කියන එකද කියන්නේ?
ඔව් එහෙම.
හොඳයි අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම. ඒක තමයි අපි මෙතෙන්දී බලාපොරොත්තුවත් පුළුවන් තරම් අර මේකට යොමු වෙලා නේද? මේ මෙතම යෙදිලා කරද්දී අපි මේ පුළුවන් තරම් මේකේ ඇඩ්වාන්ටේජ් එක ගන්නයි තියෙන්නේ. ඒක හොඳයි. ඒ ප්‍රවණතාවය දිගට තියාගන්න. හොඳයි. Since there is no more questions, then we'll wind up the session and we'll have the Dhamma sermon at 4 p.m. as usual. Thank you very much.